Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lead From Within podcast. My name is Nina Urman, and I'm so excited because today I was invited to Mitesh Daga's home here in Mumbai, India. And thank you so much for your hospitality. This has been a beautiful experience, being invited to your home with your family. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nina. The pleasure was completely ours, and really glad that you could take time to visit us.
Yes. I am very excited to share your story and your leadership story with our community. And one of the first questions that I always ask in the interviews is, what does leading from within or leadership from within mean to you?
That's a great question, Nina. A lot of us, we have grown up being trained how to think with our mind. And, at least I'm an engineer. I was taught to be very analytical, very structured. And that was my leading style originally. But as you get more experience and as you start, interacting with more people, you realize that that space has to move from your mind to your heart and eventually to your soul. So you have to be true to yourself. You have to be true to others, really care for others. And that is what leading from within means to me.
Wow, I love it. And you shared with me earlier that your name, Mitesh, means a person that is content or a person with few desires. So tell me more about that, or how does that is being reflected in your life? Do you have a lot of desires? Do you have a lot of goals? How do you go about your life, even with within the context of what you just shared?
Super. So firstly, I'll take no credit for the name. I was named by my parents, and I think I'm very fortunate to have such a purposeful name. And the name came, we follow a religion called Jainism. And Jainism is built on the principle of non-violence, which I think most religions in the world are. No religion preaches violence. But Jainism takes it to a different level of non-violence, where it says that basically nature is violent, right? By nature, when you are hungry, you are going, and in the animal kingdom, you'll go and look for a prey. That is violence. As humans, we have evolved, even if we're consuming plants or, trading goods, there is manufacturing of those goods happening, which leads to violence at some level.
Right.
And violence is not just on humans, it could be on animals, it could be on plants or other, insects and so on. So the only way to stay away from violence is to reduce your consumption to zero, which is monkhood in Jainism. It's very hard. We can't obviously follow it. We do fall hungry. We do eat every day. But how do you reduce that hunger? How do you reduce that consumption and that aspiration or that ambition or that greed to a level where you are causing minimal damage to the ecosystem and to other organisms? That is what Jainism is about, and I think that's what my name means, and that's something I try to incorporate in my life, where minimalism, so just try and keep that consumption to the minimal level, and be more at peace with everyone and all organisms around you.
Wow, this is very beautiful. It speaks to me a lot, resonates in terms of unity and what we shared earlier over dinner, this idea of, that we're all one in a way, and that, kind of coming back to what we actually need and what are our true desires versus our false desires. Because in today's world, seems to me that there is a lot of false desires that are taking away our attention. And, I'm so happy because I'm seeing here in your home, there's minimalism, right? There's like this idea of coming back to the essence and preserving the ecosystem really, really speaks to me. Tell me more about your professional path. You mentioned you were an engineer. What are you doing today? How are you developing and bringing all of these concepts kind of into your business professional life?
Sure. So I'm currently a private equity investor.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I've been doing for the last 18 years. I love, researching about different industries, meeting very successful entrepreneurs, founders, working alongside them to help them continue building up their businesses, scaling those businesses up from a level where they might have reached and probably hit their ceiling or their potential and take it from there and help them grow that business further. I started my career in the US in the consumer finance industry selling credit cards. So I take pride in being one of the largest spammers in the US, sending a lot of
Spam.
post-trivial spams to everyone, soliciting them for credit cards. But jokes aside, it was a job which trained me on my analytical skills and data crunching capability. And we were doing back then in the early 2000s what we today call as AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning. And I think that foundation made it very solid for me in terms of how to structure my thoughts around a problem and how to come up with a solution. So what I essentially do is two things. One is solutioning around problems that different businesses have.
Yep.
And second is working with people. So people is core to what we do. These are business leaders, founders, CEOs, CXOs, whom we are empowering to help them grow their businesses.
So how do you empower them? Tell me more about this empowerment part. I'm very, how do you empower them as, you have this analytical mind and then you have the human mind, it seems like both, and you integrate those beautifully. And that's why I thought you were the perfect person for this interview, because there is a resonance in you that meets both worlds. So tell me more about empowering.
Yeah, well, firstly, it's not natural. I think I'm more analytical than human. The human part is something that I'm training myself and it's evolving. It's a learning process. By nature, I'm more of an analytical and a data and a numbers person. In terms of how do I empower or how do we empower our CEOs? And firstly, you have to find the right person for that job, someone who has that inner desire or the passion to do that job and for the right reason. So we believe in purposeful business. We invest behind businesses where we see a purpose, and we believe in our leaders having a purpose to what they're doing. So finding that right match is very important. I think once you've found that match, it is then about cultural assimilation. So when you're bringing leaders from the top into an organization has a life of its own, has a soul of its own. You want to make sure that there is a good marriage of that leader with this culture. And we don't get it right all the time, so it's a trial and error process. There is some science to it, but more art.
Right.
And you have to admit your mistake and you have to correct that if you think that you've not got it right. So we have to go through a few iterations at some points, but we've always seen that more than 50% of our success lies in finding the right person. If you find the right guy, you will likely be successful in building that business. And then you have to give them their space. So obviously there are numbers that we use. So we get them, help them set their goals.
Right.
So there are certain targets, certain goals that they need to get to. We don't necessarily define the path. If they need help, we'll do that. But that's a leader's job to figure out how do they want to navigate that journey.
Right.
To get to that goal. And then you need someone who is execution oriented and who will just go and do it.
Just do it. We spoke about this earlier, the
Absolutely.
beautiful Nike slogan that we all need a reminder of sometimes, right? So you empower them by actually giving them space and letting them go, but in a kind of, in the ecosystem that, is aspiring for them to take action.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, besides being a business leader and, leading the CEOs and making sure they succeed, you're also a parent, and we spoke a lot about that this evening. You have two beautiful daughters that I got to meet.
Thank you.
One is a water drop, right? Or dewdrop.
Dewdrop.
And then one is
A ray of
sunlight,
Yes.
right? So kind of, it's like these beautiful images. So tell me, how are you leading as a parent?
Yeah. So my two daughters, Mihika and Anushka, and that's the translation in Sanskrit of the names that Nina just did for us. So the elder one is 13, going on to 14 very shortly, and the younger one is 9. We live with my parents, so it's a joint family, 6 of us, my wife, the girls, and my parents. We believe in the saying that you don't give values, you live values, right? In Hindi, we say, sanskar diye nahi jate, sanskar jiye jate hain.
Yeah.
So which means that you really have to lead by example.
Right.
And you have to do what you want your kids to do. So that's our core mantra, core principle of parenting.
Sure.
Today's age, if you want the kids to be off gadget, off phones, off iPads, you have to do that yourself, right? So if you're sitting with your phone, with your laptop, you're sleeping in your bed with your phone, you can't expect that apple to fall too far from the tree.
Absolutely.
So that's...
I always say kids don't actually listen to what you're saying or do. They watch. They watch what you're doing and they imitate, and they live the values that you're projecting. So that's what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Very good. Very good. Maybe a last question about the future for you, right? We spoke a little bit about your past and your pathway, where you're now. What are some of the things that you still want to explore in your life? What is it that you are dreaming of? Maybe some desires, even if your name contradicts, are still there that we want to explore. What are your dreams?
It's a great question. I would say I've been blessed. I have always got more than what I ever dreamt of. I have a great family, very loving wife, very caring daughters, a sister who's just 2 years elder to me, but has always had that maternal instinct with me, and she's always taken care of me, and of course my parents.
Right.
It's an interesting question because that's something I've been asking myself. There are a lot of things that I've done in my life, and I've enjoyed every single moment of it, including my job. Currently, I love my profession. Every day is a different challenge. It's a different stimulation. You're meeting very successful people, founders, CEOs. I love what I'm doing, but the question is, how long do you do it for? And at what point do you pivot? Do you need to pivot? So I'm also going through that thinking, but there is some clarity that's emerging. I was born into a religious family, and we are fairly spiritually oriented. I lost a bit of that connect in the early years of my career.
Yeah.
And it's only, I think, rebuilding up a little bit now. So there's some clarity that I do definitely want to go down the spiritual path and work on more on my soul than on my body. I think materially we have achieved, like I said, we've been blessed, so we had a good place in life. It's all about now raising kids who understand humanity, who care for humanity, who are good citizens, and for ourselves to find that you're focusing on yourself. There's mindfulness, and there is that soul cleansing and soul building that's happening.
I love it. I always say that, what you perceive on the inside is going to manifest on the outside, but then inside is where everything happens, and going inward. And that's why I'm doing this podcast of leading from within with such great people as you, great leaders that are leading other people and, rippling out into the world with so much love and so much genuine, authentic spirit. Thank you so much for this conversation. I really enjoyed it. And I'm sure our paths will cross again.
I look forward to that, and thank you, Nina. It's been an honor.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and I'm sending you all my love.